Hi, ladies. Let me know if you're here. I'll think I'll be able to see you in the comments. But I am so excited to start this journey with you. So, this is week 1 of the life cycle of your love life. I am Catherine Harris. For those of you that were on my vision board party or one of the past groups, I welcome you back, and I think we have one who has never joined in the past. So welcome, welcome. To give you an introduction to me as a coach, as a guide, as a professional in this space, I just kind of want to share some of my story of when I started my journey and how it influences my coaching style. So I actually started as a career coach for artists while I owned an art gallery in Midtown Sacramento, and was loving every bit of entrepreneurship and running the gallery, curating exhibits. But one of my favorite parts of my day was those 1-hour sessions with artists. Some of them were represented in my gallery and some of them weren't, but helping them develop their career. And a lot of it was around branding, which was really self-awareness, and pricing, which was really talking about self-worth. And all of that led me to find a professional space for all the work I had done on developing self-love. And so when I closed the gallery, I continued coaching artists, and that turned into coaching female creatives and has now opened up to optimistic females in general. And it has been an amazing journey that I ended up quitting my corporate job and devoting myself to this full time, in addition to spending time with my now almost 2-year-old son, and working with women essentially to develop self-love. I find that at the base of everything I've created, as far as vision board parties, coaching programs, one-on-one coaching, group sessions, retreats, everything at the base of that is self-love. So even if that's not what they come to me for, that's the secret answer. And so this program I'm hugely passionate about, because in addition to all the work I've done on self-love and research and my own experiences and the women that I've connected with, I've also always been a huge advocate of true love and a believer in true partnership and the one. Even if there's more than one, I believe you can have multiple soulmates in one lifetime, each serving different purposes, but that true love is a possibility, and not all soulmates end in true love or even get to true love, but that it is an option for all of us to pursue in this lifetime, and that it's something that we can enjoy and endeavor to maintain for as long as we leave ourselves open to it. So in this program, I will take you through what I consider the 4 seasons of the life cycle of your love life, and summer being true love, the season of true love. And so how to graduate from one season to the next as you feel ready or inspired to do so, and then how to linger in the season of your choice for as long as it is joyful for you. So I have recently come off of a Journey to Joy program that was another 12-week group experience, and instantly knew that as that was ending, this was going to be my next focus. It's been my huge passion project. Every day I talk to probably 4 women a day, and I've been doing that for weeks, months now. So hundreds of women that I'm talking to that believe they are in their summer season and learning about their story of getting there, to know that my theory, which I feel is no longer a theory, I'm considering it fact at this point, is rock solid. And so I want to share that with you through this program, and to find out through our one-on-one calls where you are in that cycle, so that you can identify how to enjoy that phase to the most, and then know what the steps are to initiate yourself into the next phase if that's something you're looking to do, and then what that next phase looks like, so you can have the clarity and confidence of where you are, what you want, and where you're headed. All right, so coming off of the Journey to Joy experience, I just wanted to share some of the testimonies of gals as we ended that, sharing how it impacted their lives. So some of these say, Kathy's holistic leadership approach makes her relatable and made me successful in bringing more joy into my everyday life. I had been going with the flow of work and outside situations and lost sight of me and things I care about. This program helps you refocus on the things you care about and bring that into your life through accountability and action. So accountability and action are a big part of this group experience that I typically do one-on-one with each of my clients where they're at and go from there. But it's so helpful to have a group of people on this journey with you to support you and relate and have empathy and encouragement as you go on this. So accountability and action are going to be a huge part of why there's a Facebook group associated with this program to help each other with that element. And another one said, thank you for bearing with me through a crazy season. Your program was grounding and kept me sane. Another gal said, you truly helped me a lot. I'm happier now than I've been since the pandemic, thanks to you. And last one I'll share was, I swear the universe and you having me make a vision board is what did this. I couldn't have done it without you. I didn't even know what I was needing until you made me do that. I love you, Kathy. Thank you. So those are just a few, and that's not even including one of the gals that joined for this journey as well. So obviously that's a huge testament to the impact it's having on her and wanting to continue the journey. So I am thrilled to be here with you as your guide. Everything I coach women through is really tapping into your own heart wisdom. I am a human being just like you, and while I've done a lot of the work myself, it's still a daily practice for me to be in my practice of self-love. And I too am not immune to being triggered or judgy or feeling judged. And I've done the work to recognize that and process it and move into a better space, a higher vibration. And that's what I can do for you as well. But we're all here together. And so really it's about helping you identify your own heart wisdom, to know where you're at, where you want to go, and with my guidance, trust yourself to know that you have the answers on how to get there. All right? So my commitment to you in this program is to stand for you, to stand for your worthiness of love, to stand for the possibility of true love for you in this lifetime, and for it to happen when you desire, when you envision, when you come into full alignment with who you are, so that you are the co-creator with the universe of creating this love life when and how you want it. So my commitment is to stand for you, to be a guide that simply reminds you of your power and gives you a safe space to be vulnerable in those times that are challenging, and to remind you of your true essence in those moments so that you can rise up again. All right? And through that, I'll share a lot of the details of my book that I am still in the process of writing. So in the outline of the email I sent you are the 12 weeks that we will go through, starting with ourself. So the entire topic of this program is true love. And I believe that true love is being true to yourself and to someone you love. So obviously that begins with self. And so the first few sessions will be fully focused on self-awareness, self-care, self-expression, and self-love. And I believe in this cycle of 4 phases in all things. In your feminine cycle every month, in the annual cycle of the seasons of the weather, but also in your life cycle. So that's how I created this concept. And so even though we're not talking about the 4 seasons until the second half of this program, these self-awareness, self-care, self-expression, self-love are already the basis of those 4 seasons. So we're already getting into the juicy stuff, just starting with you, okay? And self-awareness I consider as mind, to really focus on that mind portion of, that piece of the puzzle. And then self-care is to focus on the body and that portion in this piece of the puzzle. And then self-expression is spirit, what makes you come alive to express yourself. And then self-love is soul, to really sink into that part of you that is solely you. And then we'll relate those from doing it for yourself into how to do those in partnership. And that becomes the fall, spring, winter, and summer seasons. I got those out of order. But fall, winter, spring, and summer. So with that, I want to give you just kind of a brief overview of how these live videos will go. I am recording them, so you will have access as soon as this is done to watch it at your own pace, at your own convenience. And the reason I do this instead of as a group Zoom meeting or a Facebook room meeting is because I believe in truly creating the time and space to sink into this knowing and this process and this experience. And what may be good in my schedule or for the majority of our schedules may not be good for every single one of you. And so I want you to have the freedom to create the time and space for you to engage with these videos when it best works for you. So if you're a morning person, I'm a huge advocate of having a morning routine. So if this is something that you add to your morning routine, it's available for you then. If it's something when you have a lunch break and time to yourself, it's available to you then. And you can even join us live. That's why I do it at a lunchtime hour, is so that for those who feel the energy of being a part of it live here with me, that's an option for you. But if it's something that you maybe catch a few moments of during your lunch break, but you really want to sink deep into it tonight, at your kitchen table or in your bed, it's available to you. So I don't want anyone to feel left out of a group meeting if they can't catch it live. I want it to be right here, you and me, one-on-one, engaging in the time and space that works for you. So these will be at 12:35 every Tuesday. There will be an email following up by 2:30 on the same day with the video embedded and all of the assignments and journal prompts for that week, which I will also introduce at the end of each live video. And then in the Facebook group, I will also, obviously this video will be available to you once it's no longer live. The replay will still live there. And then I will do daily posts to keep you up to date on that week's assignments. And every weekday I will post one of the journal prompts so that you can engage with that at your convenience on a daily basis to make this a practice, a daily practice of self-love, to find true love with self and in partnership through this program. All right, so that is an introduction to what you have to look forward to. And a huge part of what I do with my clients is visualizing. I am passionate about my regular vision board parties, and on my one-on-one calls, you'll each receive a visualization for that month. And it's typically completely out of the blue. It's whatever divine inspiration comes into me through the elements of our conversation, through the energy of what I'm feeling from you, and then bringing that to its highest vibration in the moment for you to experience the true possibility of what options are available to you to live in that high vibe self. going forward. So each visualization I do, some are better than others, but they're all in the moment, inspired by you and your energy that you bring to these calls and our, these videos and our calls. And they will also be recorded for you to refer back to as you go along, because I found that a lot of people on our one-on-one calls, when we do those visualizations, it's a transformational moment for them that they want to be able to refer back to and remember that energy, that vibe that they felt in the moment of hearing that visualization and being in that moment. So I make that available to you, that if you want to wake up to that every morning and remind yourself of that journey you're on, it's available to you. Or if you want to fall asleep to that, it's available to you. If you're having a hard day and just need a reminder, it's available to you. So everything we do here will be recorded and available to you. Okay? Next, I want to talk about love assignments. So these are just ways for you to engage with the content that I provide in these videos and to put it into daily practice. So for this week, our weekly assignments are first, as I mentioned in the email, to introduce yourself in the Facebook group. I love it if you can post it as a live video, much like I'm doing here. But if you feel more comfortable with a selfie photo and something that you can really take time to think about what you're saying and write it, but I don't want it to be censored. The whole idea of this Facebook group and this group experience is to be your true, authentic, vulnerable self. Because if you can do that with yourself, if you can do that in this safe space that we create for each other, that enables you and encourages you and empowers you to do that in partnership with someone you love. So start here, start now, be you. If you can post with us in the Facebook group as a live video, I welcome that, I honor that, and we appreciate it, because we want to be here to support each other in being that vulnerable, authentic self. So assignment number 1 is simply to introduce yourself, your name as you want to go by in this group, your current relationship status, so single, dating, not at all interested in any of that right now, married, happily married, it's complicated, wherever you're at in this journey, those do not necessarily relate to what season you're in the life cycle of your love life, but it does help us give some parameters for where you might be in that cycle, because typically seasons do coincide with that a little bit, but you can experience any season in any phase of your current love life. All right. So number 1, post your introduction. Number 2, if you have not already, please create a vision board. It can be a doodle on your binder paper. It can be a collection of images in a folder on your computer. I love to do them with magazines just because I find images that I didn't even know were going to inspire or trigger something in me. And I love those surprises that when I put them on my board because something resonated in that image, I find out looking in hindsight that there was a reason for that. It was an impactful part of my journey that I didn't even know my subconscious was already visioning for me. So I highly recommend magazines, and if you were not part of my recent vision board party, I invite you to join my vision board party group, and there is a replay there of the most recent party. And now that I'm thinking about that, I will also put that in our members only webpage on my website so that that's available to you there. So also in my introduction email, you will have seen a link and a password for a page on my coaching website, CoachCatherineHarris.com. If you go to the members page, there is a password. It's simply love1234, because that cycle of 4 is so regular in this process. So love1234 will give you access. And every week I will post the most recent video, the most recent assignments, those week's journal prompts, and anything else that may be a resource to you. So I will also put the Vision Board Party replay there for your reference. So post your intro, do a vision board, and then simply take time every day to feel into that vision, to imagine it coming to life in your mind. Because as soon as you can see it in your mind, you can believe it, and as soon as you can believe it, you will see it in your reality. Okay? So I want you to create the vision board, create the vision, but then create time and space for you to be in quiet contemplation with that vision and to let it come to life, to feel the energy of what it feels like to live that version of you. So those are our assignments this week. And then at the end of this video, I will share the journal prompts, but I will also post those in the Facebook group and on our members only page. So I want to get into a couple juicy parts of this. One, I want to share a story with you that kind of gives you some background on who I am and where I've come in my life cycle of my love life to be on this journey and experience as your guide. And then I want to do a guided visualization for you today, okay? I'm so happy you guys are here. So I will say it is actually a group of 4 of you that have chosen to do this as a group experience. And I don't know for certain yet, but based on what I do know of where each of you are at in your current love life, one of you represents each of the seasons. So you're all approaching this journey from a different phase in your cycle and can support each other. So the cycle isn't a final destination, true love, linear journey. Even when you get to true love for yourself, then you circle back and you're able to do true love in partnership. And sometimes people fall out of love and they circle back. It is a continuing cycle for all the days of your life. And like I say, you can choose to linger in a phase. The story I'm going to share today explains how I very much lingered in the fall season unintentionally. But you can do it intentionally as well if you prefer a season. You can live an entire lifetime in one season. You can go through one season in a moment, whether it's one aha moment or one aha relationship that can change everything for you. So it's a cycle. So we're here to support each other. We're all in different places in that wheel. And I think that was divinely curated for this group to be in that way. So to share my story that I wanted to share today, just as an introduction to how I came to do the work, to be in a position where I have something to share, is starting with a relationship when I was in high school. I had a group of friends. They were all guys. And the one that brought me into that circle is still one of my absolute best friends to this day, always has been. But when we were in high school, was attracted to his best friend, and we started dating while I was living in Italy in college. And ended up dating him for 7 years. And he was wonderful. He was madly in love with me. We were best friends, so I could tell him everything. He told me everything. We had a great sex life. That was definitely going well. There was nothing wrong with that relationship. So 7 years into it, when I still couldn't see myself marrying him, I realized something was off, even though I couldn't pinpoint what it was. And I couldn't explain it to him either. The only words I could come up with was that it somehow felt claustrophobic, and it felt so cruel to tell him that, because he was my best friend, he was my lover, he was my world in a lot of ways, but it felt claustrophobic to stay in that relationship. Like I was cutting myself off from the freedom of life, air, oxygen. I don't know, I couldn't pinpoint what it was, but I knew that something in me didn't intend to marry him, and that it was only fair to him to let him know that and move on. I was not in a place in my life to trust that heart wisdom with full 100%. I dabbled in it. I could do yoga and get a high of it, but then if I was alone, I'd sink back into not sure, uncertainty. So we went through a long period of time, off and on. It's complicated, breaking up, getting back together, being broken up, but going on, weekend getaways to try and rekindle or figure it out without our friends knowing that we were doing this on again, off again thing. So that went on for a long time, to the point where I knew I didn't have the strength to leave for good. I knew he wasn't going to let me go without a reason. And so I ended up cheating on him with a one-night fling that I knew was not worthy of any of that. But I just felt like if I hurt him enough, he would let me go. And there was so much shame for me wrapped up in doing that, in hurting someone I loved so much. And yet he still accepted me back, and we still went through that circle of back together, not together, back together, that hurt both of us even more, especially with the shame I was then experiencing and his hurt that he was experiencing from me doing that. It finally took, I think, just being overwhelmed by the shame of that, and kind of a disrespect for him accepting me back after that I judged myself so much for doing that, and feeling like if he doesn't judge me for it, like he doesn't get it, something's not connected. So finally left, and I have to say that my heart knew that's what I should have done all along, before I caused this major hurt to him, before I caused this shame to myself. I should have just known. My heart wisdom was telling me that long ago, because every time I would break up with him, it was this relief, it was this weight off my shoulders, it was this sudden sense of freedom and lightness instead of heaviness. And so I invite you to always look at your heart wisdom as an invitation to feel lightness instead of heaviness. If you're faced with a hard decision or two options or uncertainty, the flow is where it feels lightest, with ease. So that was a lesson that I learned in that moment. But I will say that I remained in that fall season. Fall is what I consider back to school season, the season of learning your lessons. I was in my fall season, I would say, from the moment I hit puberty until 20 years later. So 2 decades of fall season gives you a lot of time to learn a lot of lessons. And so that's where I feel so empowered to share those lessons with women now that I've been through the trenches. I did so much. I mean, after I broke up with him, it's not like I just eased into winter and spring and summer. I stayed in that fall season, and even, days like this where it's winter, but occasionally it feels like spring. I did a lot of that, where I would go into an introspective moment that really felt like a winter, but it wasn't deep enough to get me out of fall. It was still a fall lesson. Or that I would be, my expressive, bubbly, flirty self and happy with life, and it would feel like spring, but it wasn't true to myself enough to be spring. It was still a fall lesson. And so I went through rotations of that for about 5 years after breaking up with him, and moments of isolation and solitude, just processing that shame and that not knowing why I even broke up a relationship that was perfectly good, trying to figure out what that meant about me, what I wanted, where I was headed. So a lot of introspection, and then also periods of, for lack of a better term, complete total slut phase. Just trying to find judgment that he didn't judge me, and so I would find other ways to manifest, trying to fulfill that scenario with other men and other situations, and also sprinkled into that really good long-term relationships within that 5-year period that felt solid enough. Looking back, I can pinpoint exactly why they were not a summer season, but they all had hints of those phases. I was testing all of those experiences of being human, of being alive, of learning those lessons. And so I take all of that with me as my personal experience that I bring to you in this program. So whatever phase you are in, I feel like I have some relatable experience to offer and empathy to share with you for wherever you are in your journey, and some wisdom to show you what comes next, what you can look forward to, how to process things deeper so that they really stick and resonate and serve you, how to let go of what no longer serves you, and in all of that, packaging it with how to trust your own heart wisdom. Because I could have saved him a lot of hurt, I could have saved me a lot of grief, if I had just trusted my heart wisdom the first time I knew it was time to break up with him. So all of that to say, I cycled through my many lessons to learn, and found self-love as the key to everything, and did end up graduating into my spring season and my summer season and experiencing true love with my husband and the life that I am currently living. But like I said, it's not an end point. It's then you go through the cycles as a partnership instead of solo. So it's an ongoing process, but I've learned so much that I can share, and that's what this is about. So with that, I want to invite you to get comfortable, and every time we do one of these videos, I look at it as a ritual. I do a lot of work to come into alignment before I turn the camera on, and I invite you to do similar. So whenever you watch this video, whether it's live or otherwise, to come at it as a ritual, that you are honoring yourself with this time and space. And so I want you to create a space that feels atmospheric to your growth, to your peace, that you know, if it's a warm beverage or a beautiful view or whatever that is for you, crystals, music, whatever tunes you back into your true self, I invite you to do that here as part of our weekly video. And with that, I want to invite you to just drop into where you are now. Whatever you've had going on today, this week, this phase of your life, just drop into this present moment. And take 3 deep breaths with me, in through your nose, out through your mouth. You can put your hand at your navel just to really ground into your centered self. And relax into your body, relax into the comfort of the seat supporting you, and just be for a moment. And I invite you to imagine, with your eyes closed, Allow your mind to wander with us on a journey in this guided visualization. So I invite you to imagine yourself packing for vacation. Packing all the things tangible. Your toothbrush, an outfit for every possible occasion, your toiletries, the potions and magic that you do for your hair, your skin, yourself on vacation, those mementos that remind you of home, every tangible item that you might want for whatever this magical vacation may be. Destination unknown. Length of time unknown. It's a surprise. So pack whatever feels like it might be needed. There is no capacity limit on the luggage that you can prepare for this trip. So pack it all in. Your favorite outfits, your favorite pajamas, your favorite swimsuit, your favorite party dress, your favorite loungewear, your favorite workout and exercise gear, hiking gear, whatever it is, camping gear, your, like I say, your toiletries, your potions, your shampoos, your lotions, your razor, pictures, wallet, purse, all the things that go into your daily purse. And once you feel complete, that you have all the tangible items in however many pieces of luggage that may need, then I invite you to pack the untangible items, the baggage that you bring with yourself, your past experiences, your sense of self, your childhood, your current living situation, whether that be a house, an apartment, a property, your family, your pets, your significant other or family members or children or whoever could potentially be on this journey with you. Everyone you've ever met in this lifetime, every acquaintance, every client, every employer, every relationship that you've experienced that makes you who you are today. Pack them in, pack the luggage, make it as big as necessary, and each one can have their own compartment, their own suitcase, their own wardrobe, their own trunk, whatever is fitting for whatever makes you you to live the life that you're leading right now. Pack it up. Let's take it with us. So with that, I invite you to take all of this to the boarding gate. So whether this journey is going to be on a cruise ship and it's the boarding gate at port, if this journey is going to be a flight and it's the boarding gate at the airport, if this trip is going to be by train and you're at the train station, maybe it's even just simply the car in your garage, I invite you to magically get all of this luggage checked at baggage claim. So maybe that's putting it into the trunk of your car, the bottom of the ship, the hull of the airplane, the cargo car of the train, whatever this journey is for you, however you intend to get there, the vessel of your choice, your bags are packed and they are on board. So with that, I invite you to move freely about the cabin. You are no longer hindered by any of these items. They are here, they are available to you upon landing, upon arrival, upon your final destination. But they are going along with you for the journey. They are not holding you down. They are not weighing you down. You are free to move freely, easily, light. All right, so with that, I invite you to settle into your space of choice on this vessel. Maybe it's a sleeper car. Maybe it's a pod on first class of the airplane that reclines into a bed. Maybe it's a long road trip and you've got all your snacks and beverages and playlist and you're ready to go. Wherever the space on this vessel that you are ready to settle in and join this ride. Let's do that now. All right. So we're on this journey. I invite you that you are not the captain. If you're in the car, you're in the passenger seat. If you're on the train, you get to look out the window of your plane, train, cruise ship. Enjoy this ride. Relax on this ride. There is no cell phone service. There is no internet. There is no screen for any videos, movies, iPads. None of that is available to you. This is a journey of joy. Maybe you blast your music. Maybe you sit in quiet contemplation as you look at the clouds out the window, or the road rolling by, or the trees passing the railroad tracks. This journey is up to you. How fast you go, what you see out the window. You get to contemplate all of that in quiet contemplation of your own bubble, your own space, your own moment in time that now is timeless. There's no emergency to tend to, there's no family members to connect with, there's no business to conduct. It's just you, knowing that all of your tangibles and life experience is along with you, but you are the creator of what this space on your journey is going to be. Sink into that for a moment. You are the creator of what this journey is going to be. For a moment, we're just going to focus on our breathing as we watch this journey take place. Finally have a moment to think about everything that's happened before now. To think big picture of everything you hope will happen in the future. This moment of timelessness, this space of nothingness and yet everythingness. This feeling of pure possibility. Knowing that you can land or arrive wherever you desire, at whatever distance, in whatever amount of time. Maybe it's a fortnight, 2 weeks cruise ship. Maybe it's a red-eye flight. Maybe it's a cross-country road trip that you've given yourself a month to complete. You have all the time in the world. You have no responsibilities. You simply get to relish the act of being you, of processing your entire life story up to now and dreaming of your entire life story to come. It's a good feeling. The sun is shining. The world is bright. All the connections that will connect the dots of whatever you dream are waiting for you at the end of this journey. All the luggage is there for you. So I invite you now to step out, to complete this journey fully in a sense of self, fully in your most passionate idea of the future, and ready for what may come, ready to create what you desire. Knowing that now you can go to baggage claim or open your trunk or whatever it is with all of your luggage there and pick and choose which bags you take with you. Which bags are still serving you and which ones you can donate, discard, leave behind. They served you once, but they may not serve you now. So which of those items, tangible and untangible, do you choose to take into this next chapter, your next season? What do you choose to become a part of you? What do you choose to use to express the true version of you? Maybe the clothes you pack don't actually represent you at all anymore. Maybe it's time to go shopping. Maybe those relationships simply don't serve you anymore. They don't resonate with who you are becoming in this next chapter. There is no harm in letting them lie where they are at. They are perfectly happy and healthy, doing their own thing. Take with you only that which serves you. You are not responsible for anyone else's journey. You are not responsible for any of those items. They will find a good home. If they don't serve you, it's for their best that they be left there so that they can serve the one they are meant to. And with that, I invite you to open your eyes and join us here in this group, loving each other, loving yourself, loving what comes in the next 12 weeks. We are co-creating this with the universe. It is conspiring to connect the dots of what you dream possible. And I am here to stand for you. I am here to stand for possibility, for your potential to realize your full potential for true love and ultimate joy. We are on this journey together. It is just beginning. We are just embarking. And you now feel what you are creating on it. I love you, ladies. I will be in touch again in Facebook and in our private page with the assignments, the journal prompts. The first journal prompt I invite you, if you're feeling inspired right now, is simply to ask yourself, what am I creating in these 12 weeks? And set that intention right now. And so it is. And so it is. I love you, ladies. I'll see you in a week, and I'll be in touch online.